Hi guys, welcome to this video. In this video we are going to have a look at the new version of Ubuntu 26.04 LTS, which is their long-term support version, which will be supported for 5 years for free. If you want to extend the support, you can extend it for up to 15 years by paying for Ubuntu Pro. Now let's move over to their website so that we can see how to download the ISO. So this is their homepage, ubuntu.com. So you can see canonical releases Ubuntu 26.04 LTS Resolute Raccoon. Resolute Raccoon is the code name for Ubuntu 26.04. Now if you want to download the ISO, you can click on download Ubuntu here, and here you can see a green button here, download Ubuntu desktop. That will download the standard Ubuntu ISO. If you want to download the various Ubuntu flavors, you can click here. We will make a video about that in the coming week. For now we are going to stick with the normal version of Ubuntu. So if I click on that, that will take me to the downloads page, and here we have two versions, Intel or AMD 64-bit architecture, which is for old or normal PCs, and if you have a newer ARM based PC or laptop, then you can download the ARM ISO as well if you need it. I have downloaded the AMD 64-bit architecture ISO, so I've already downloaded, so I'm not going to click download. If you want to download, you can just click on this download and it will actually download the latest version of Ubuntu, that is Ubuntu 26.04. Now we are going to do the installation in a virtual machine. So let's move over to a new tab and let's open Virt-Manager or simply Virtual Machine Manager. So let's click on the top left corner button here, create a new virtual machine. Local install media, since we already have the ISO already downloaded, let's go forward. Let's go to browse, go to ISOs, Ubuntu 26.04 desktop-AMD 64. This is the ISO for the latest Ubuntu 26.04. So let's select that and let's choose volume, and it has not detected the operating system. That's funny. I think Virt-Manager has not been updated yet to detect Ubuntu 26.04. So let's type Ubuntu nothing. So let's just choose generic Linux 2024. Let's go forward and let's give it 6 gigabytes of RAM, 3 of my CPU cores. Let's go forward. For storage, I am going to select a create custom storage so that I can keep this virtual machine in a place in my home directory. So let me go to manage, go to VMs. So this will actually correspond to home/jacinth, which is my home directory /VMs or virtual machines. I've just created a new directory to store my VM. So I'm going to click the plus icon to create a new volume, and then I'm going to type Ubuntu -26-04. That's going to be the name of the storage volume, and I'm going to give it 50 gigabytes of storage, and let me finish it. So the storage has been allocated. Let's choose that volume. Let's go forward. Let's rename the virtual machine as well to Ubuntu -26-04. And if you want to do more customizations to this virtual machine, like booting into a EFI firmware, then you may well as tick this button, check this radio box here, the customize configuration before install. As of now, I am not going to do any further customization. So let's just finish and let's go yes to start the virtual network, and let's make it into full screen. We have two options, try or install Ubuntu, or you can choose Ubuntu Safe Graphics. So if the first option is not working, then you go with the second option. Let's go with the first option here. Okay, the logo, the circular disc here is very different. It resembles the Resolute Raccoon logo. Other than that, everything is standard as far as this opening screen goes. Okay, so we have the wallpaper here, and this logo is actually quite fetching. It's good to look at. And then we straight away go into we get the startup sound. We straight away go into a welcome screen. Welcome to Ubuntu. Choose your language. English is chosen by default. If you want to change it, you can change it. I'm not going to change it, so let's go to next. And accessibility, if you want to use any of these, you can go ahead and do it. I don't need any of this, so I'm going to go next. And then keyboard layout, English US is fine for me. You can choose your variant, and you can also type here to test your keyboard variant. Let's go next. And connect to the internet, use wired connection. Yes, that's the thing for me. If you want to connect using Wi-Fi, then you may choose this. But since this is a virtual machine, it cannot detect any Wi-Fi devices, but it uses the main or the real computer's internet as a wired connection. So let's go next, and we have two options: install Ubuntu or try Ubuntu. So try Ubuntu is nothing but it is a demo mode or a live mode where you can go through the live environment, check what is available in Ubuntu, and you can also check if your hardware actually works with it before making any changes to the computer. So if you are actually doing it in a real machine and you are unsure whether your hardware will be supported, or you have anything that may be bugging you regarding installing Ubuntu as your main operating system, you may go and try Ubuntu and make sure that it actually works, and then proceed with the installation. So let's for this video I'm just going to stick with install Ubuntu. Let's go next. An interactive installation or automated install or automated with landscape. Okay, so automated install with auto install file. So you need an auto install.yaml, and automated with landscape is for users in organizations that actually provide an auto install file via landscape. So this will be for system admins or for people who are in a large organization where they want their system to be a particular way. They already do it consistently, and they cannot waste the time in setting up Ubuntu again. It saves time if you already have an auto install file, but I don't have an auto install file. I don't use Ubuntu on a daily basis, so we are just going to stick with interactive installation. So this will give you a guided step by step through the installation. Let's go next, and you have two options. What apps would you like to install to start with? You have a default selection and an extended selection. If you go with the default selection, it will come just with the essentials and web browser and basic utilities. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go with the extended selection just to find out what are the software that come installed with the extended selection. So let's go next, and install recommended proprietary software. So if you are actually going to be playing some media or something for any regular use case, I'll just say click both these buttons. If you know what you are doing, then you may uncheck these, but for a normal user, I believe that this will be absolutely necessary. So let's go next. Erase disk and install Ubuntu. So if you want to give the operating system the full control to partition your disk, you may go with the first option. If you want to do the partitioning yourself, then you may go with the manual installation. In my real machine, I most definitely will do a manual installation, but since this is a virtual machine, I am just going to give the operating system full power to partition my disk as it sees fit. So let's go next. So encryption and file system. If you want to encrypt it, you can encrypt it with a passphrase, or you can use hardware backed encryption. So I think this will be for you using some key security keys, I guess. Let's go next with no encryption because this is a virtual machine. Let's go next, and let's create an account. Let me give in my name, and the computer's name is Ubuntu 26.04 and then the username will be fine. And for password, I'm going to give it a very strong password. I hope this it accepts this password. Yeah, it accepts this password. So require my password to login. Yes, do it. Let's go next. And time zone, I'm going to choose my time zone. It's Asia, Kolkata. Okay, wherever I choose, it says Mumbai. Okay, but wherever I choose, the location actually doesn't change. I thought maybe it will change the city based on the location where the pin is actually kept. Anyway, let's go next and review your choices. Type of installation: erase disk and install Ubuntu. The installation disk will be VDA, which is the virtual disk that we created. Applications, we have chosen the extended selection. We have not chosen any disk encryption. Proprietary software, we have selected to install codecs and drivers. If you want to make any changes, you can just go back and do the changes, but once you press install, you cannot make any changes. So I've reviewed the choices and I'm going to click install, and this process will take a bit of time, so I'm going to pause the video here and I'll join you once this portion of the installation has been completed. So the installation has completed. It took around 20 minutes to get here, but we chose the extended app selection, so maybe that took a lot of time. But anyway, 20 minutes is not that much time because we are used to installing Linux distributions at very less times, at under 5 minutes. So that's the reason I feel like it took a lot of time. Anyway, the installation is complete, so let's click on restart now. There is another option called continue testing. I don't know why this option is here because we have already installed the system. What's the point in testing it again? But anyway, that option is there if you want to use it. Let's click on restart now so that we can boot into the installed system. So it says please remove the installation medium, then press enter. So if you are doing it in a real machine, you will have to remove the flash drive from where you installed Ubuntu. This is a virtual machine, so I'm just going to press enter and the system shuts off and reboots again. I made it full screen, waiting for the Ubuntu logo to appear. And we get the Ubuntu logo and the circling logo for the latest version of Ubuntu 26.04, Resolute Raccoon. And here we are in the login screen. We have the name of the user. Let's click on that and let's enter the password that we created during installation. Press enter to login. And we have the wallpaper. The wallpaper is pretty looking, and in my opinion, I think that this version of Ubuntu is much more responsive than the previous version of Ubuntu. I actually made a video about the previous version, the LTS version of Ubuntu, and I felt that it was slow. But now, even though I'm doing it in a virtual machine, the system feels a lot responsive. So this is a welcome screen. Let's go next. Location services is disabled by default. If you want to use it, then you may enable it. Let's go next. And help improve Ubuntu. It's very good that the telemetry is turned off by default. If you want to share system data or error reports with Ubuntu team, then you can enable it. So it's disabled, you can enable it. So Ubuntu is going in the right direction as far as telemetry is concerned. So let's go next and choose how Ubuntu looks. The default look, I think it switches between the dark mode and the light mode. So if you want, you can choose the entire dark mode, and the accent color is the typical orange color from Ubuntu. If you want, you can change it to any other color that you want. I'm going to stick with the default style and the default accent color. Let's go next. Get started with more applications. If you want to install more applications, you can open the App Center. I'm not going to do this now. Let's finish it. And here we have some applications. We have Firefox, Thunderbird, we have the File Manager, Rhythmbox, LibreOffice Writer. Since we chose the extended suite of applications, the Office software is also installed. And this will be your App Center and this will be your Help Center. And this is the trash. So let's go here to show all the apps. The apps that are shown out here won't be available here. I actually made a complaint about it in the previous video, and a particular viewer of this video mentioned that to me. I actually didn't know that, but I'll still stand in the opinion that even though it is placed in the dock, I would like these applications in the App Center as well. It's a typical Ubuntu installation anyway. We have the calculator, calendar, clocks, and document scanner is available. And if you want to update the firmware, you can go ahead and do it. Settings is available. Video player, they have a video player. I don't know what video player this is. Okay, it's just video player. About video player, it's from the GNOME projects. Let's go back to show all apps. We have LibreOffice, the Office suite. We have a camera for your web cameras, for your webcams. Then you have LibreOffice Calc utilities. You have document viewer, file roller, which is your extraction and archiving tool. Then you have fonts, image viewer is here, passwords and keys. And then in systems you have advanced. These are all system related tools. You have disks, GNOME disks. If you want to I don't think you will be partitioning any of the disks after you do the installation, but you can format other hard drives. If you have a flash drive, you can change the format. You can delete whatever is there. You can just format everything, change it into exFAT, FAT, NTFS, and all those things. Let's go back to show apps. We have LibreOffice Draw, LibreOffice Impress, Map, and Remina, which is a remote desktop sharing application. Let's open Remina. Yes, it's a remote desktop client. So let's close that. Let's go back here, and then we have resources. So this will show us how much RAM is being used. Apps, processes, memory. Let's go to memory. 1.4 gigabytes out of the 5.52 gigabytes that's available, 25% of the RAM is being used without any other applications running. We have 4 gigabytes of swap as well. If this gets filled, this will be used. So 1.4 gigabytes, it's standard for a full desktop environment, around 1 gigabyte to 1.5 gigabytes. So nothing to complain about here. And it doesn't have a GPU and drive Ethernet connection. This is the Ethernet speed. Okay, so this is actually pretty good to have. It's a good looking application as well. You can go to processes. If you want to terminate any process, you can just click on it and go for end processes. Don't terminate the GNOME shell and all. It may crash the graphical environment as well. Let's go back to show apps and let's see. We have a Shotwell. I think it's yes, it's a photo viewer and you can also edit the photos. So let's close that. Let's go back here. And software updater, startup disk creator. Okay, startup disk creator. Okay, to try or install Ubuntu from okay, so this is your ISO image writer. That's what they have named as startup disk creator. Good to see that application as well. And then you have the terminal, you have a text editor. What text editor is this? Let's go here. Let's go to about text editor, the GNOME project, the GNOME text editor. A plain text editor is also available. Then you have transmission, which can be used to download torrent files. So that's all the applications that we have, a pretty standard. And one thing that I have to say is this version of Ubuntu feels a lot responsive to me if you compare it to my previous video where I was complaining. So let's try opening Firefox. Let's try if opening Firefox speed has improved. I'm not very optimistic. Anyway, it takes a bit of time, and opening a web browser for the first time takes a bit of time, but this time actually it didn't feel as long as it used to be. So Ubuntu have done something with this Ubuntu 26.04 that makes it feel a lot responsive and lightweight, in my opinion. So your opinion may vary. I don't know about that, so let me know in the comment section if you also find the new version of Ubuntu to be much smoother than the previous versions of Ubuntu. So maybe Ubuntu have done something great and they may be back to their glory days. This responsiveness is actually giving me a lot of positivity. Ubuntu is where I started my Linux journey, and I think most of you would have started your Linux journey from Ubuntu. Ubuntu is by far the most popular Linux distribution. It may not be that popular among regular Linux users, but if you go outside the Linux community and ask somebody who uses Windows, the only knowledge that they have about Linux would be Ubuntu. So that's how much Ubuntu has influenced the Linux world. So I hope that Ubuntu and the company behind it, Canonical, do things in the right way so that they have a huge impact. So when a new user actually thinks about Linux, they think about Ubuntu and they will try Ubuntu. So if Ubuntu is not up to the mark, they may think that the entire Linux community, the entire Linux stuff is something that is not really that good. So Ubuntu has a great responsibility, and I am really glad that they have taken it in a positive way and they have done things really well in this new version of Ubuntu, that is the Ubuntu 26.04 LTS. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. If you think that I have to change something in this video, you may mention them in the comment section, or you can ask any other questions if you have regarding Linux in the comment section, and if I possibly know the answer, I will make a video or I will reply to your comments. Or you can also share how this video was in the comment section. Most importantly, kindly don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.